everybody, so just wanted to do a quick first impressions video of Born This Way foundation by Too Faced. So it is not a first impression of the foundation itself, it's of the new colors they released. I've never tried this foundation. It's been out for a few years, so it's not a new formula or anything like that. The formulation came out in May of 2015, so it's been out for 3 years. It's July 3rd, 2018 right now. So they released some colors and the new foundation back in 2015 May at Generation Beauty, from what I understand, and none of the colors were for brown women. Like none at all, nobody of my complexion. About 6 months later, I think November, December of 2015, they did release some new colors. Chestnut and Mahogany at the time were the colors I thought would work for me because of C-Key on YouTube, as well as Jackie Aina and Fab Jenny. Their colors usually work for me as far as foundation matches, so I generally do buy the colors that they suggest. However, in this case, I didn't bother with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation because I was pretty irritated that, you know, Africans have been on this continent since 1619, and foundation makeup brands rather are still releasing foundation shades that don't have a range for brown women, so it just pissed me off, so I didn't even bother to try it. So a couple days ago I found out that Jackie Aina had been working with Too Faced on some new shades. It's like, alright, well, let me give them a shot. So I did go out and I tested a couple of the colors today. I purchased one of Jackie's colors. This one is called Chai. I don't know if you can see that here. So I did buy this one today, and I also swatched Mahogany, which I thought would work for me, and I'm wearing Chestnut. I was kind of surprised that Chestnut worked because it looks much lighter in the bottle, and it looks kind of light when you first swatch it on your hand as well. And it's on my chest too, I don't know if you can tell. I tried it on in the store, and I was pretty shocked that Chestnut blended in. You can't really see it at all on my chest or my face. It's a deep foundation color with neutral undertones. Actually, let me wipe it off so you can see that it actually really is on my chest. So yeah, I did put it on my chest to swatch it, and that's the color that I'm wearing on my face as well. I am going to put on the Chai and take a look and see how that matches. So you can see I have a little bit of blemishes around this area, so that is the Chestnut that I just wiped off of this area. I was actually very surprised at the color match. I'm going to take the rest of this Chestnut off, and then I'm going to try the new one, Chai. That's Jackie's color. Jackie's color that she wears and Jackie's color that she curated, I guess is a better word. And also I'm going to try Mahogany, which I have a sample of. I did not purchase the Mahogany, but I did get the sample. So we're going to go through Chai and Mahogany, and you already see how Chestnut looks, and this is natural daylight. It is around, it is 2:55 p.m. 2:56, excuse me, and I've had this on for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, this Chestnut color. So I'm going to take this off and go ahead and try the Chai on one side and the Mahogany on the other, so you can see the differences in those different colors. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm going to be trying the Chai and the Mahogany sample that I showed you a few seconds ago. So this is the Mahogany. It's a little more red than the Chestnut that I was wearing earlier. Not sure if you can see that. I don't want to spill it. But I'm going to just go ahead and dip my finger in there. I'm going to do the Mahogany on my right side. I wish I had gotten a sample of the Chestnut to bring with me, but I didn't really think about it at the time. So there's the Mahogany, and I'm going to go ahead and blend that out on the right side of my face so you can see what the color looks like once it's all blended out. And I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with a brush. I know some people said this foundation works well with a sponge, but I'm going to use my brush. And I know Jackie was using Mahogany initially when this foundation expanded range just came out back in November, December of 2015, and then she ended up going to the Chestnut color. I feel like I still have a little bit of this under my nails. So that is a mahogany. I'm looking in my other mirror down here. I actually didn't think mahogany looked bad. I just thought the chestnut was a little better for me. And I'll do pictures outside of the chai on this side and the mahogany on this side once I'm finished. I just have another mirror on this side if you see me looking this way. So now I'm going to try the chai. Can you see the difference in my natural skin versus the mahogany? I feel like the mahogany, it kind of reminds me, the chestnut and mahogany kind of remind me of the Fenty 410 as a chestnut and the 420 as a mahogany. Like, I feel like the mahogany is a little slightly bit more red, and that reminds me of the 420. Of course, not the formulation at all, because you know Fenty is like super matte. You will not transfer, you have no issues with it. And I have dry skin, so I ended up taking that formulation back, as you all know, because I have a video up earlier that I had tried out the Fenty 410 as well as the 420. The 420 just made me look made up, whereas the 410, I think it was a little too light for me. And I kind of just like a natural look, and that was something I was wearing to work on a regular basis for about a week or two back when I was testing out the Fenty. Alright, so I'm going to try the chai on my left side. Shake it up a little bit. Alright, so this is a new bottle, so it's not, there we go. Just going to use one pump, and I used one pump of the chestnut as well when I was in the store. I'm going to use Real Techniques brush on the left side, and this is the chai, if you can see that. And I will say that when I put the chestnut on in the store, it seemed a little too light at first, and I was very surprised when I blended it out. I probably didn't even need a full pump since I'm only doing half of my face. Wish I had drawn like a line or something so you could see the difference from one side to the other. So that is the chai. I actually do like it better than the mahogany now that I'm looking at the two of them side by side. And I'll put them on my chest as well, so you can see the difference between the chestnut, which I didn't even notice when it was on my chest after I had swatched it in the store. So that is mahogany on my chest. I normally do not put foundation on my chest. I don't blend down my neck, none of that, although a lot of people do. So you can see the mahogany much better than the chestnut that was on my chest before, if you could even tell that the chestnut was on my chest back then. And now I'm going to put a little bit of the chai. Put this up in my hands. It's a little messy, dipping your fingers into foundation pots, sample pots. So I'm going to try a little bit of the chai on my chest as well. Probably should have used a brush before on my chest. So there's the chai on my chest. Put a little more so you can see it. Oh, that blended in really well. Oh, where is it? Okay, that blended in extremely well. Try that again so you can see it. Probably should not have been wearing this white shirt, but that's alright. It'll just go in the laundry. So that's the chai on my chest, and mahogany is here. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and go outside so you can see what it looks like in the daylight. so I'm back, and if you recall, this is the mahogany side, chest and face. And this is the chai side, the new color that Jackie worked with Too Faced to create. I definitely can see it's a little more orangey, red, orange, on the mahogany side. And I could see that when I was putting it on as well. And the chai side is a bit more golden. So the description of the color, chai is deep with golden undertones. And the chestnut that I was using before, that is deep with neutral undertones. And the mahogany is described as very deep with golden undertones. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do my full face with the chai. And I'm sure you guys will let me know which one you think was better. The chestnut that I had on previously, the mahogany that's on this side, which I think is a little bit too red kind of orange, almost like a suntan kind of color for me, and then the chai, which is on this side. Alright, so we're going to go and put on the chai. Hey, so I'm back, and I was actually just putting on my Embryolisse. I don't necessarily use primer, but this works really well as a primer. So I've gotten all the mahogany and chai off of my face and my chest, and I'm going to go ahead and do a full face with the chai. And I'm actually going to use a beauty blender for this instead of the brush, just to see if it looks any different. It'll probably be a bit more sheer, but we're going to roll with it. So this is my chai. I'm just going to put one pump on the back of my hand and work off my hand. Alright, so I'm going to start at the center of my face. I don't feel like I need too much, and I usually am not putting a lot on my forehead area, because that's why I just typically blend it out. And just focus on the center of my face. And if I didn't already say, this is not really a good foundation for oily skin. The people I've seen using it that have oily skin do a lot of preparation with their primers and powders and all that stuff, but I have dry skin, like wake up with patches on my face, dry skin, so I don't have any concern about that at all becoming oily. So that is the chai, just one layer, one pump. I do like it better than the mahogany. Can't say that I 100% like it better than the chestnut, but I do feel like they're kind of interchangeable. The chestnut, if you recall, has a neutral undertone, while the chai has a golden undertone. I'm going to add a little bit more, just about half a pump. And it might also be because of the beauty blender instead of using a brush. That is a little more sheer than the chestnut. And I'm not going to do my whole base concealer and all of that. I'm just going to put on some lip gloss, because that's what I had on previously with the chestnut, so we can compare the pictures side by side of the chestnut versus the chai. And I was wearing my Fenty gloss, so I'm going to go ahead and put that back on, and I will go back outside so we can see what it looks like in the daylight. Alright, so I am back, and this is the chai, and I put on the same Fenty Glow lip gloss that I had on before with the chestnut. So I'm going to put pictures side by side of the chai versus the chestnut that I had on earlier, so you can tell me if you're seeing a difference. Now remember, the chai has, it's a deep with golden undertones, and the chestnut is a deep with neutral undertones. Let me zoom in a little. So let me know what you think. So this is basically trying out the colors Mahogany, Chestnut, which are in the prior version of this line, and the Chai, which is one of the colors that Jackie created. I kind of like this Chai. I don't have the Chestnut to compare side by side anymore, but I'm going to put up the picture so you guys can let me know what you think. And the formulation, again, if I didn't already say, it is not necessarily great for oily skin, but for someone like me with dry skin, it works out really well. So I did have the Mahogany on for about, I want to say about 4 or 5 hours yesterday, and it was fine. I didn't experience any dryness. It feels very light on the skin, but like I said, this foundation is not new. It's been out for about 3 years, so I'm sure anyone who's interested in it knows everything about it already, with the exception of the new color range. Feel free to ask any questions. Thanks.